Chairwoman Salazar, Ranking Member Castro, and members of the subcommittee. Thank you for the opportunity to discuss our findings and recommendations related to the Bureau of International Narcotics and Law Enforcement Affairs. INL contributes to some of the U.S. government's top security priorities. These include combating the flow of illicit narcotics into the U.S., promoting rule of law around the world, and combating transnational crime. We have reviewed many of INL's programs in recent years and identified successes as well as opportunities for improvement in at least 15 reports, many at the request of this committee. Since 2020, we have made 16 recommendations to improve the effectiveness of INL programs. I will highlight 3 key areas of improvement related to performance management, program monitoring, and program evaluation. First, we have made 5 recommendations to improve how INL is managing the performance of its projects. Of these, INL has implemented 1 recommendation on combating firearms trafficking in Mexico, but 4 related to firearms trafficking in the Caribbean and on assistance to Mexico more broadly remain unaddressed. Performance management is meant to ensure that the U.S. government is spending taxpayer dollars effectively and achieving U.S. goals. For example, since 2008, the U.S. has provided over $3 billion in assistance to Mexico to address crime and violence and enhance the country's rule of law. However, in 2023, we reported that INL could not demonstrate that it was achieving its goals because of gaps in its approach to performance management. Specifically, we found that INL had established goals and objectives but had not identified which of its projects were key to achieving them. So, for example, under the goal of preventing trans-border crime, INL had established a joint objective with Mexico to disrupt and dismantle narcotics production. However, while INL implemented and collected data on individual projects, it had not linked which of these projects were helping to meet this goal. We recommended that INL strengthen its performance management approach to determine whether it was achieving its goals in Mexico. Considering the importance of the U.S.-Mexico relationship and the level of U.S. investment, we have identified this to be a priority recommendation for the agency. Second, we have made 6 recommendations to improve INL's program monitoring. Of these, INL has implemented 3, but 3 related to its wildlife trafficking programs remain unaddressed. Consistent program monitoring helps assess progress and identify problems that might prevent the Bureau from reaching its goals. Wildlife trafficking is a crime that fuels corruption and destabilizes communities. In recent years, media reports have alleged that park rangers, trained by U.S.-funded entities, had committed human rights abuses, including sexual assault and murder. Since 2020, state has taken steps to enhance safeguards to prevent these abuses. However, we found that INL had not conducted consistent program monitoring to ensure that these U.S.-funded entities reported on the implementation or effectiveness of these safeguards. We also found an alleged incident of sexual abuse by a ranger that INL was unaware of. INL agreed with our recommendations, including that it clarify reporting requirements for human rights abuses. Third, we've made 2 recommendations to INL to conduct program evaluations, or studies that would determine how well a program is working. For example, in 2024, we reported that despite years of support for activities to strengthen the security situation in Haiti, including specific efforts to improve the capacity of Haiti's national police, INL had no formal plans to evaluate the effectiveness of its activities. We recommended that INL conduct such an evaluation, and the Bureau agreed. INL plays a critical role in achieving U.S. security priorities, such as combating transnational crime and supporting rule of law worldwide. INL's effectiveness depends on robust performance management, program monitoring, and program evaluation. While INL has made some progress, important gaps remain. We urge INL to fully implement our recommendations to help ensure that it is spending taxpayer dollars effectively and achieving U.S. goals. Thank you, and I'd be pleased to respond to your questions.